UFC 314, Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez is coming up this Saturday night. Now, I'm here to discuss how I think these fights are going to go down. And you know what? Let's just jump right into it. I'm only going to talk about the early prelims very briefly. I think that this fight, Cedricus Dumas versus Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, is a pretty goofy fight. It's definitely going to end in a finish, and it's going to be some like weird ass finish, some like goofy like TKO. I think Mikhail Oleksiejczuk's got it. He was actually a pretty decent contender not too long ago. Cedricus Dumas is kind of a goofy fighter, but yeah, this is going to be a fun one. Let's take a look at this. Darren Elkins is fighting tonight. I mean, not tonight, Saturday. We got Chase Hooper and Jim Miller, the old head versus the young ass. I think Chase Hooper can take this win, probably by like a decision. Virna Jandiroba is going to plow through Yan Xiaonan. And then Dan Ige, I don't know. Sean Woodson, I don't know much about Sean Woodson. But I think Dan Ige might be able to get it done. Who knows? Alright, let's talk about this main card. Nikita Krylov versus Dominic Reyes. I actually think Dominic Reyes can take home this win. Nikita Krylov has not fought since 2023, and it was against Ryan Spann, which, you know, Ryan Spann's okay. It's not great. Dominic Reyes, he's had ups and downs. I do think he is pretty solid. He just got a confidence booster fight against Anthony Smith. It's kind of a cookie bite fight. Anthony Smith obviously was not in it at all. But, yeah, I think Dominic Reyes can do it. Gene Silva is going to murder Bryce Mitchell on Saturday night. He's going to take his head clean off, and he's going to bounce it on the octagon floor like it's a basketball. Okay? Gene Silva, he's well-rounded. He's aggressive. He's super strong for the weight class. And Bryce Mitchell is extremely one-dimensional. He's coming off his little win against Kron Gracie, who's a bum. And before that, he got flatlined by Josh Emmett. And I think he's going to get flatlined by Gene Silva in the second round, is my prediction. Gene Silva is the next coming of Vanderlei Silva, in my opinion. I don't think he's going to be in the top 5. Maybe. He might make it to the top 5. I don't think he'll be champ. Unless, he starts seeing even more improvements. It gets even better. But I think it's safe to say he's not going to be champ. But I do think he can beat Bryce Mitchell. Michael Chandler versus Paddy the Baddy. Michael Chandler's got this one. All right. Paddy, he's had kind of a controversial rise in the UFC. He got like a robbery win against some nobody who like beat him. He got his free win against Bobby Green. And he got his free win against Tony Ferguson. But he couldn't even finish Tony Ferguson. And Michael Chiesa just finished Tony Ferguson, but Paddy couldn't finish him. So Michael Chandler just went toe-to-toe with Charles Oliveira. Almost finished him in the 5th round. And he showed, despite being off a big hiatus, that he can still go 5 rounds. He can still push the pace. He can still do damage against the best of the best. Other than that 5th round, he did get beat up pretty bad by Charles. But he showed a lot of heart. I don't think Paddy can hit the same as Charles. I don't think he can grapple the same as Charles. I think Michael Chandler's got this one. And for the main event, I think Volkanovski is going to be the featherweight champion after Saturday night. Unless if Diego Lopez catches him in the first 4 minutes and knocks him out cold. In the first 4 minutes of the fight. Okay, Diego Lopez just showed against Brian Ortega that he can look like a absolute like killer for the first 4 minutes. He knocked out Brian Ortega cold and then hit him back awake while he was falling down. Knocked him down after that, beat him up, bullied him on the ground. But then for the next 2 rounds, it was kind of close. And Brian Ortega was, popping him with the jab straight down the middle. And that was only a 3-round fight. And Diego Lopez was visibly gassed by the end. This is a 5-rounder against Volkanovski, who's significantly better than Brian Ortega, especially in the striking. He's going to be using that jab even better than Brian Ortega was, popping him left and right. But I do think that Diego Lopez will take the first round. But I think after that, third, fourth, fifth will definitely be Volkanovski. I think the only way that Diego Lopez finishes it, maybe in the first 2 rounds. I might give him the first 2 rounds. After that, I think it's a clear Volkanovski dominant performance in rounds 3, 4, and 5. Volkanovski just showed against Ilia Topuria, even though he got knocked out, that Volk is still really good. He actually put up a really good performance against Ilia and was winning the fight up until he got knocked out. And Ilia hits a lot harder than Diego Lopez and is more skilled than Diego Lopez. So, for those reasons, I think that Volkanovski is going to win this fight. I also think that he's had ample rest time. He's had a lot of time off to recover and, get his head back in the game. And I think he's ready. I think seeing the shit with him and Aljo in the training room, it's promising. I think that Volkanovski has a really good chance to win this fight. I think that if he does lose, then you've got to make some big changes, maybe even retire if he does get knocked out cold by Diego Lopez. Might be time to consider retirement or, maybe not chase a belt. Maybe just fight, some guys that aren't so dangerous. Maybe fight Bryce Mitchell or something. I don't know. Hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all enjoy UFC 314. And I will see y'all in the next one.